Let's play Marsha Blackburn, just to give a sense of how of the lunacy that's involved in these Republicans as they put this up. This is Marsha Blackburn during the committee hearing.
So then I asked her a very simple question. I asked her to define the word woman. Wasn't a trick question. It's something that everybody learned in grade school science class. But Judge Jackson refused to answer. The fact that she couldn't or wouldn't answer that question speaks volumes.
Pause it for 1 second. If Marsha Blackburn was looking for an answer that was delivered in grade school biology,
why wouldn't she say vagina? I wanted her to say vagina.
It wouldn't. It is so clearly been a politicized that, of course, a judge is not going to answer on this. It would be absurd. And it's like baked into the premise of her comment here as to why she didn't answer.
Her response is perfectly adequate, which is that, like, if that ever comes up in a case, and for some reason, I would consult with experts on the topic.
Me that Judge Jackson is beholden to the radical left that is teaching our children that they can choose their own sex. It tells me that she is more committed to woke progressive ideology than she is to common sense and the rule of law. And it tells me that she will not be able to decide with impartiality the cases that are sure to come before her as a Supreme Court justice. How, for example, will Judge Jackson be able to resolve sex discrimination claims if she can't decide whether the parties before her are women? How can she decide Title IX cases if she doesn't even agree with Justice Ginsburg that there are enduring physical differences between men and women? We recently saw a Ninth Circuit judge issue a written opinion stating that, and I'm quoting, "people of all genders can become pregnant," end quote. And disputes over biological males competing in women's sports are working their way through the federal courts. How can a Judge Jackson decide any of these issues as a Supreme Court justice if she is too afraid of the radical left to give this committee a definition of the word woman? Judge Jackson's refusal to answer my question underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive ideology that she endorses.
She is basing her entire broadside against a Supreme Court nominee on the potential of answering the question whether a trans woman or a trans man can participate in specific gendered sports.
And she's also basing her accusation against Ketanji Brown Jackson on a presumption that she's terrified of the radical left. In fact, she's more afraid of the fact that whatever answer she provides to you is going to be warped by you to say, well, she is a member of the radical left.
Yeah, of course. And you know, like that type of rhetoric, we see all the time. But the idea that the conservative movement now seems to be pivoting on the existence of trans athletes in school sports as a governing sort of like philosophy. The Democratic Party should be pointing out that you want your problems dealt with, and this party is focusing on this. I mean, there is the failure to exploit this, and I am willing to bet everything I own that when it comes time to voting for Trump's next nominee on the Supreme Court, God forbid.
Oh my God.
You're going to see people like Dick Durbin and the 135-year-old Dianne Feinstein when she's sitting on the, I guess it would be 5 years from now, to be fair.
It doesn't matter. She's still 135.
She would, no, but at one point she will be. And she'll still be on that committee as far as she's concerned. They will cite Susan Collins and Mitt Romney and Lisa Murkowski voting for KBJ years before they cite Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Blackburn, and every other Republican who came out and said she's unqualified or
and Tom Cotton there is basically, it's like an old a racist trope to connect her with terrorists too. Let's be real there, right?
Of course.
As if Tom Cotton wouldn't, in that historical context, been entirely sympathetic with the Nazis. Let's be real.
Of course. And that's what the Democrats are going to do.